So, Belgium are heading to Basel this year with Red Sebastian and Strobe Lights. But will it be red light or green light in the competition? Let's review Eurovision. So, yes, Belgium is sending Red Sebastian, great name for an act, in my opinion, and Strobe Lights. It's and the performance kind of lives up to that. So let's have a little listen.
Strobe lights, getting lost in your eyes, cotton candy haze. We're floating around in space, getting tired. Oh, I feel so alive.
So that was a bit of Belgium's entry for this year. Jack, what do you make of it?
Well, it's interesting that you say the performance lives up to the name Strobe Lights because interestingly, I don't think it does. And that's the problem. As a studio version, really like this. And from the first time I listened to it, and for years now, I've been talking about first impression because it matters. It's how most people watching Eurovision absorb these songs. I was very impressed with it. I thought it's catchy, it's different. I had high hopes for it. And then the bookies reflected it. I think it got up to third in the bookies at one point. Then the performance happened. And that I think is where this has fallen down because it's not very stroby. It's called Strobe Lights. There's not very many strobe lights in it. It's camera cuts galore and it focuses too much on the performer. And I think that the problem here is not the song. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's catchy. It gets you moving. It is like a club night. It's one of my favorite songs from Belgium. But the issue with this entry is, and I don't mean this impolitely, I don't want to be mean. This just has a performer problem because I don't know whether it's inexperience. I don't know whether it's nerves. There's just something that isn't working. And it was the same in the national final performance, which Red Sebastian won in a landslide. But then it was also the same in the music video. There's just something. He just doesn't seem fully comfortable. It's as if somebody has just given him this song to sing. He doesn't fully believe in it. And it's nerves. The national final performance was a little bit at times it was as if he was singing in his bedroom a little bit, like a little bit. It was all quite intimate. It was quite closed. There wasn't much engagement with the camera, and it means there's a barrier, and it means I'm almost uncomfortable. I'm not fully letting loose and enjoying the song as well as I should be. I don't have that problem with the studio version. When I'm listening to it, I am well on board with it, but watching it is not a fully comfortable experience. And I think if they want to elevate this and give the song the potential that it has and give it the opportunity that it has, they'll just in Basel take a bit of the emphasis off the performer, properly make use of the massive, massive stadium, properly make it strobing, let's have a rave. And then that I think is where it will do better because the song is really good, I think, but the performance is what's letting this down.
Yeah, no, I would tend to agree. I think like his look is super, super striking, the kind of skinhead red hair. It's a kind of great iconic look, and it's like the energy from him doesn't quite match the energy that I think the song needs. And this kind of, going from the national final to Eurovision, like lots of things can change, which is why I'm still kind of quite optimistic about it because I think there isn't anything like existentially wrong with this entry, and there's definitely kind of things um that can be done to kind of really elevate it. Because yeah, I mean, you get that kind of like rave clubland like vibe from it. And they just, I think with something like this, bigger is better. Like, do not strip this back, throw the kitchen sink at this staging because it's a song that really kind of needs it. Um, and yeah, I like his vocals. I mean, like when you listen to the studio version, you're just like, oh my God, there is absolutely no way that someone could sing this live. And he doesn't do it badly. So it's like there is no reason why this, shouldn't be a kind of real like knockout performance. It just needs a bit more work, I think, on the staging side of things. But as a song, super, super listenable, and I really enjoy it. So yeah. So it's also in semi-final one. It's going ninth. I can't remember who it's sandwiched between. I think it's sandwiched between on one of the sides it's they'll have the breather with the Italian entry, which is obviously one of the big five, so not competing. So that I don't know whether that will make any difference for it. But anyway, so it's forming there. Do you think it's making it to the final? And what would you score it?
Well, just to pick up on what you said, you're right that the vocal is there. And again, when I'm saying this is a performer problem, it's not the vocal. It's just it is like a confidence thing because the vocal is spot on. It's just they don't seem fully comfortable. On the distinctive look, you're right that it's a distinctive look, but it's almost so red, and there's no other than his name. There's no justification in the song for it being that red. So I think a lot of people might it be thinking, why is it so red? It might get in the way. I don't know. Um, Will it get through? I have a horrible, horrible, horrible feeling that this could be the shock non-qualifier of the year. I don't want it to be, but the staging needs a lot of fixing. And it might just be 2 years in a row that Belgium have sent a song that should go through, but the performance just doesn't quite work. And Belgium's very hit and miss with staging. If they don't get it right, this could be the shock non-qualifier. I want to see it through. And again, I really enjoy the song. The performance is what's letting it down. So I'm going to give this an 8.5. It would have been a 9, but I just have to tick it down a bit because the performance isn't quite where it needs to be. I would 100% put this through. This would be in my top 10 in the final, but the staging is the problem here. The song is great. The staging's the problem.
Interesting. So I would probably give it the same. I'd also probably give it an 8.5. I think this will qualify fine. I think it's kind of high enough up in the bookies. I think it does kind of stand out as a kind of set piece, and providing the staging doesn't bomb, then I shouldn't think it should be all right. So 8.5 and 8.5. So what's that? 17. So we gave it 17. Pretty high score from us. Let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe and click the little bell so you can get notified every time we upload new content. And of course, you can see little trailers and things like that on Instagram and TikTok. But that's it from this episode, and we'll see you next time.